Hi guys, Taylor here. I've got two things before I start this video. I'm sorry if you can hear my hamster because she's very active tonight, and my dogs. They are going crazy downstairs, but I can't stop them barking for the whole video. But this video is going to be about bullying. I know I've made a couple of videos before about bullying and my bullying story, but I haven't gone into detail about it because I've been bullied since primary school to secondary school and to college, and when I was in college it was really bad, but I'm going to go into detail about that. The other thing is, I'm sorry, I'm not in my usual background. I am actually sitting on the floor in front of my wardrobe, but my recording space is getting redone, kind of. But back to the bullying thing. Recently I've seen a lot of videos on Facebook and Instagram and like all different things, and some of my friends, cousins or friends' cousins or something are going through this. And like, I mainly see it on Facebook, where someone has done something and it's either gone viral, or it's gone around the school, or it's gone public, which they didn't want to go public, which I have done before. When I was in college, I was in a relationship, and I'm not going to say his name because that's like long gone. I was in a relationship, and at first I thought this guy was really nice. So as a stupid 16-year-old person, I sent a picture to him. You couldn't see anything. I was mainly covering myself, but I sent him a picture because I thought I loved him, as mainly 16-year-old people do. And I'm sorry about that, my brother is being stupid, but I sent a picture, and I thought me and him were going to be together forever and everything else, because I was young and I didn't know any difference. And I was in college. I had just left school and went into college. And the boy that I was going out with, he knew some of the girls that was in my college class, and but I didn't know that at first. And the girls in my college class, we were friends first, and then we had a falling out and everything else. And then me and my boyfriend at the time, who I sent the picture to, he got really nasty. He was asking me to do things and everything that I didn't want to do because I wasn't comfortable with it. So I ended up saying no, and we ended up breaking up. But he still had this picture because he said he deleted it, and I was stupid enough to believe him. And he didn't delete it. He sent it round my whole college class, to the girls that I knew in my college class, and the girls from my class. They sent it around to the whole school, or college, I mean, and showed everyone. So whenever I walked through the hallways or the cafeteria in college, I would get looked at as, oh, that's the girl that sent the picture. And when that happened, I didn't know it was about me because they were all just looking at each other and whispering, because I didn't hear anything, and I didn't know at this point. And then my best friend, who's still my best friend, Georgina, you all know her, she actually found out, and pardon me, and when she told me, that's when my whole life went from here to all the way down here. And it was devastating. Like, not just devastating, my whole life was destroyed, basically. Well, I thought it was. I ended up having to drop out of college, but I was, I agreed with a teacher that I would go in 1 hour, like, so on a Wednesday I would go in for an hour and I would get my papers that I had to do, my assignments, and a booklet that she made for me to learn everything. And then when I finished it, I would bring it in and get my other assignments. So then I wouldn't have to be in the class, but I would still pass my course. Which I did. I passed my course, and that's a bonus to the story. But I had to leave college because I was so scared and so ashamed at the time as well, because I thought that it was just me and I was the only one that it had happened to. So I left college, but at the time I was still getting bullied, so my mum thought it was just me getting bullied, that I couldn't take it, and that's why I had to drop out, or leave. And then my family ended up seeing it, and most people would have thought, how do you know if it's you? Because I sent a picture of my, but my hand was over. And when I was 16, I used to wear a lot of bracelets on my arm. And, like, my friend was like, you can just say it's not you and everything. But I had the distinctive bracelets on my arm that everyone knew about. So that's how they knew it was me, and I broke down when I realised that it was so bad. But my family ended up seeing the picture, and that's when my mum found out that I dropped out because of a picture. And it got so bad that one day when I went to college, my mum was off sick that day when I went to college, and I was getting threatened by getting beaten up, and they were following me home, and wherever I went they would follow me. So my mum had to walk down to the college and pick me up, which any 16, 17-year-old wouldn't want, because they think they're grown-ups and they're everything. But when you're getting threatened, I'm sorry about that, when you're getting threatened to get beaten up and to have my door smashed in and everything else, it was really bad. So my mum came and picked me up, and we were walking home, and the people that were bullying me, they followed me and my mum all the way home. They kicked my door in. They were throwing things at my house. It was that bad. So I ended up texting my ex-boyfriend at the time, asking him to take the picture down and to stop everything. Me thinking that would work. It didn't. It just made it 100 times worse, because we ended up arguing, and he was threatening to, like, bomb my house and to kill me and everything like that. And that scared me, because my family were in the house, and it didn't make me any happier. It made me so depressed, and like, I didn't want to be here anymore. I basically just wanted to commit suicide and just have it all done. But it got so bad I had to get the police involved. And when I got the police involved, it made it worse, but it was getting better at the same time. the girls that were bullying me and the girls that sent it around the college, they got a warning. So if they bullied me anymore, they would get charged or something. They would get put in prison, or something like that. And the boy that actually sent the picture around was arrested, and he was put in prison for, I think it was 16 days or something like that. But he got put in prison. And so I wasn't happy that he was put in prison, but I was quite happy that he was put in prison. So then I knew that he wouldn't hurt me or my family, or anything. So I was able to actually walk around like my neighbourhood and my high street and everything, and go shopping with my mum and my nan and everything without being scared to go out. I didn't leave my house at all. When I had to go to college, I had to get someone to go with me and to wait outside for me, because I was so scared to leave my house, and I was scared to go anywhere. I stopped eating, so I got like quite skinny, or not skinny, because I'm quite chubby and I'm quite a big girl, but I don't care. But I stopped eating, so I lost quite a lot of weight, and it was just so bad. But then it got better. I still had depression, but that was slowly getting better and better and better. Because throughout the whole thing that happened, I was diagnosed with depression. And they were trying to put me on counselling and everything else, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I don't like talking about my feelings, and a lot of people can tell you that I don't like talking about my feelings. Like my friend Georgina, I've known her for nearly 10 years, and she would have to push me so much to try and get me to talk about something. And pardon me, when I was out, I wouldn't talk to anyone. I would have my headphones in and I wouldn't speak to anyone whatsoever. At home I would just stay in bed, and I didn't want to talk to a counsellor. I didn't want to take depression tablets because I know that they're really hard to get off of, because my mum is on them and they're hard to get off of. My sister-in-law has told me and everything, so I chose not to have the tablets, which I think has actually worked better for me. But when I was out with my friend, I think, we were out shopping, and I used to email the police officers that were on my case, because I used to get like more threats and everything, and I used to send them screenshots of it all, so they had the evidence. I had like a folder on my laptop of evidence that they said to me, so then I knew that if someone said that I was lying, I knew that I wasn't lying because I had the proof, because there was that moment that people thought I was lying about it. Like in college, they all thought I was lying, but I wasn't. And then I was out and I saw the boy that I went out with and who sent the pictures. He was out in the streets and I didn't know about it. So I emailed the police officer saying, what's happening? I've just seen him and no one told me he was out. And they messaged me saying that he was out for 2 weeks before I saw him. but they didn't tell me. They thought someone had told me, but they didn't. So that scared me even more, because I thought, he's out, he's gonna come back to get me because I put him in prison. And that was the worst time of my life. And I might be smiling and laughing about it now, but it was the worst thing ever. I was scared for my life. And usually I don't talk about anything. I don't talk about any of my bullying or nothing. I like to keep it a secret and bottled up in my head and everything. But I have seen a lot of, like, not videos about it, but I've seen a lot of posts about it, saying that kind of the same thing happened to them, that they had sent a picture to their boyfriend and he sent it around the school or something, and it happened in my old secondary school, and it happened to one of my I'm trying to think of the word, my work colleagues, like daughter or granddaughter or something. It happened to her, and I was just like, I don't want them to go through the same thing that I went through, because it's horrible. It makes you rethink your whole life and everything that you've done, and it makes you think that you're not worth anything and you ain't supposed to be here, because that's what went through my brain when I went through it. But I was 16 at the time, so that was 4 years ago, and to me it still feels like it was yesterday that it happened. Like, it wasn't the greatest thing that has ever happened to me, and I just don't want it to happen to anyone else. But that's my story. I think I've kind of covered everything in this video, but now I've moved on. I have a job and I have my college, whatever the word is, I passed, and I have my qualification of childcare. I look after special needs children, and when I went through that, I didn't think none of that would be possible. I didn't think I would get my education. I didn't think I would get my qualifications, nothing. I thought, nothing's going to happen. I'm going to stay indoors all day. I'm going to be too scared to leave my house, and I'm not going to want to do anything because I'm too scared, basically. I still do think about the thing that happened to me every day. I still think that the person might come back and might come and get me or something for putting him in prison, but I have no idea. I'm just holding on for life, basically, and I'm just praying that none of that happens and that I still get to live my life, because it is very precious. Life is very precious, and at that moment in my life I didn't think that. I thought, nah, don't want to be here. I've had enough. Life just isn't for me and I don't want to be here anymore. But I'm so glad that I actually stayed around. But I don't want that to happen to anyone. So that was my story. That was quite hard for me to tell, but I got through it. But anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. Remember, like and subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. They will be in the description. And I'll see you next time. Bye.